Guys, I just want to apologize for my Wi-Fi dysfunction. Let's see if we can get this going.
I mean, hopefully it glitches. Hopefully it glitches this weekend, so you can't set your lineup against me. That's all I'm worried about.
I saw that. I was pretty pissed off.
Dude,
again,
matchups in 2 out of the past 3 weeks. Oof. Hopefully, I just need one. I
think I've been winning.
Quite the rivalry going on over here.
Come on, Christian McCaffrey.
Come on, funny feeling.
Come on, Regan's mom.
Aww.
Welcome to Just the Tip, a fantasy football podcast with your tippers, Matt, Disfatt-Bidge.
These are just our tips, so take them easy, take them hard. It's up to you.
Ryan, the Tagless Haynes.
Most bizarre Haynes brief that there's ever been.
And Matt, hi, or Regan.
Yeah, I hear you, and I definitely would take the shot on it because you'd be dumb not to.
Coming to you from the heart of New England. Get ready to take some tips.
Nailed it, Mac.
Been known to do that from time to time.
Would have never known.
1 out of 100 shot.
He never nails his lineup.
Oh, no. I actually did pretty good this weekend.
I won every Yahoo and Sleeper League and lost every ESPN.
Oh,
it was rough.
It's usually the opposite way for you. I would have won against Hutch. Shout out to Hutch if I started Goff instead of Tua on Thursday night. But
it's your own fault.
Yeah,
that was like our only bad call of the week.
Yeah, we had a stellar week of calls. And you takers out there, we hope you had a good week. Welcome into Just a Tip, a fantasy football podcast. We are recording on October 6th, 2022. Guys, week 5. Nut up or shut up time. Time to make some moves if you're struggling. If you're 0-4, you are not out of it yet, but you got to make some moves. We are going to help you out. Hopefully get you guys to the start. Sit column. We'll get into that section and hopefully help you out. Bye weeks are coming, so don't worry. You still have a shot. Ryan Tagless Haynes, how you doing?
Doing good, man. We were talking about records from the weekend. I was this close from a perfect weekend. This close. It's
close to 4 inches.
Time. It's this close to every time.
It is a game of inches, Regan. I've been told.
I need a yardstick.
Oh,
wow.
Okay,
that's not true.
Yeah, and it is. You just use a crutch back there. IR Regan, helping us out with the graphics. You guys, hopefully been following us. Just a tip, FFP, and seeing the graphics that he's been posting. Some inactives, actives for Sunday morning. Speaking of. Another London game, so make sure you set your alarm so there's no debacle with Alvin Kamara. Luckily, I was up because I have him in a few leagues and I was able to swap about. Some people did not. I suggest that you should have been able to switch it around after kickoff, not later in the afternoon. Sorry, but after the kickoff on that game, okay. Make the adjustment. But yeah, that was pretty shitty. Doesn't seem like it will happen this week again, but you never know. Make sure you set your alarm. And with that, guys, we are going to get into starts and sits, some sexy flexy. We got tip, flip, or flop today. We're just going day by day, seat of our pants, shoot from the hip. Now, we got some good stuff to talk about from this weekend and see. We finally have a trend 4 weeks in. Now we can see, are these guys for real? They're coming on, or should we trade them away and stuff? So with that, I will get into, I guess, all right, real quick, Scott Fish update.
Say, Clyde, do you like fish sticks?
Yes, I do. Actually, no, I can't remember the last time I had a fish stick. Oh gosh, probably high school. But we are up at 1,049 out of over 3,000, and we were down to 2,000 range. So we jumped up 1,000 spots, just under. So hopefully
there's a chance.
There's a chance, guys. Only week 4, so plenty of time. By week 7, though, is happening, and we have Kirk Cousins and Josh Allen both gone. So you takers out there in your regular redraft leagues, make sure you are looking ahead. Bye weeks start next week, I believe, week 6. And I believe 9 and 14 are the heavy duty ones this year. But if you are having a quarterback like Josh Allen on week 7, you might want to pick him up maybe before kickoff this Sunday. Check ahead. I'll try to help you out. We'll try to post some guys that you might want to pick up, get ahead of the waiver wire there for you if you have those guys. Sound good? Yeah, cool. Thanks.
Sounds good to me. How many times do the Seahawks play the Lions? Can they do it like every week? Because Reshaad Penny would be gold then.
That'd be great.
That would be. Unfortunately, we got to wait like 3 years now.
What's his name came down with a shoulder injury today. Just
don't.
Penny. He's gonna be golden.
No teases, Reeves. Don't tease me, man.
Yeah.
Do what I want.
Well, teases and surprises. That's what we're all about. We are a very serious podcast. We want to satisfy you guys with our tips. So from the week, guys, we had some good, exciting plays, exciting players. But some of our tips, guys, they rose higher than the rest of them. So like my bet on Brandon Ayuk beating out Allen Robinson, guys.
Bet of the year.
Oh, sorry, Regan, you lost. 2 receptions and 7 yards for Allen Robinson. 4 receptions, 37 yards for Brandon Ayuk.
Hey, Robinson tied his season high, I think. So,
ooh, oh man. Yeah, I guess I should address this now. You're right, Ryan. I did say that A-Rob should be more consistent, but I should have elaborated more on that. His passing, his snap percentage, his routes run, they're up there. They are consistent. It's just Stafford not looking his way. The O-line sucks. What's the deal? Is it Allen Robinson's fault or is it Stafford's fault?
I don't care whose fault it is. I don't care. Allen Robinson once again is a cut candidate, and Brandon Ayuk. Both of them are kind of on the brink there.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I have to agree there. Brandon Ayuk, sorry, you're gone.
Bye.
This guy, Chris Olave, though, showing up, and looks like not to spoil the hurt locker. Michael Thomas might not play this weekend again, so lock and load in your lineup with Chris Olave. 7 targets, 4 receptions, 67 yards with a touchdown. Andy Dalton throw him. So, guys, we prefer Jameis Winston being out there as long as he's healthy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I would say so. I think Olave is going to get the same volume either way, especially with Thomas out. So, but Winston gives him a better chance when Landry and Thomas are both healthy.
Correct.
Yeah, and we did say we'd start him over Devontae Smith. I wasn't buying that big week by Devontae Smith, but this week's different. So we got to stay water, adjust every single week. So anybody else you guys want to talk about from this weekend?
Yeah, I was surprised by these 4 guys here. TJ Hawkinson, 179 yards, 2 touchdowns. Josh Jacobs, 144 yards, 2 touchdowns. He has back-to-back weeks with 5 receptions. Penny, 151 yards, 2 touchdowns. Miles Sanders, 2 touchdowns, 134 yards. Those are not names who you would expect to put up those stats in that week. And guys, I had way more shares of these players than I thought, and it was glorious, and I loved every second of it. What were your reactions when this was going on?
I was like, cool. I have Hawkinson going off in my Superflex league, but I started Mariota, who got 3 points, so I still lost. Oh, I still lost.
Did either of you get really reamed by one of these guys? Were you like, oh yeah, I got my matchups in the bag, and then all of a sudden Josh Jacobs gets 35 points?
Nope, started
I don't
him.
think
No?
so.
I
I don't
didn't.
think I did.
You avoided it.
I was on the good side of this week. Besides just losing to you with Hawkinson, I didn't have to go against any of these guys, so it was good.
That's awesome. Mac, your boy, Jared Goff, 4 touchdowns. His second 4 touchdown performance of the year. No Amon-Ra, no Swift, no Chark.
No problem.
Matt, can he do it this weekend versus New England?
4 touchdowns? No.
Can he do 2?
Startable? Yes, he can do 2.
3?
He can do 2. All right,
Never
2.5. 2.5. I'm taking the under. But he is QB 5 right now, and a lot of people are saying, "Oh, fade. He doesn't do well away from home." And so, no, I'm sorry. I'm going. He's hot right now. I'm playing him, and they're all about offense. Their defense sucks. Patriots will put up points. They're gonna have to do a lot of garbage time, and we will be at Mohegan Sun watching that game.
Oh.
Absolutely. And now's the time. Now's the time. We got to make some decisions, boys. Like, now's it where you're moving away from the guys you drafted and you're playing the hot hands. And Jared Goff is one of the hottest hands in football right now.
That nobody drafted.
Weeks, his floor right now is what, 18, 19 points? Who would have expected that? That's like Tannehill's ceiling.
Pretty much. And doing better than Kirk Cousins right now. And we thought that he would be the value of the draft. So, yeah, until the wheels fall off, I'm not benching him.
So we had a couple other big calls this week. Good calls. Regan, James Robinson. Everybody was hot on the James Robinson trail. You're like, dude's touchdown dependent. He's not doing a lot in the passing game. He's probably going to dud this week. Sit him. Sure enough, he dudded. 29 rushing yards and 8 attempts.
Let's see if it pays off for him.
And he's wearing this shirt. Look at that. Sorry, Ryan. I dropped on your
nailed it.
Your
no, you're good. He nailed it. And Jerry Jeudy, your start, 15 points in PPR format, scores a touchdown. That was a great call. Max says start Russ. Apparently, that was the only game you could start Russ in this season. 3 touchdowns, 237 yards, finishes with 30 fantasy points in 6-point leagues per touchdown. So that was a great call, and you were a touchdown away from nailing Jeff Wilson because he was not overly impressive in that game.
No, he was not. Quite the disappointment. That actually lost me a week too because I didn't start Alec Pierce over him. All I needed was like 5 points. Alec Pierce had 12.
Alec Pierce.
Can't say we all wouldn't have made that sit.
No.
And guys, listen, this is the strategy for our start sits, our risque start sits. Just pick the guy who's not playing as your sit, and then you'll nail it. Because that's exactly what I did with Zay Jones. And he put up a goose egg. So that was the call of the week. That was the call of the week.
Was he active?
No, he sat.
No.
He was hurt.
So that doesn't count. That doesn't count.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm getting at. You just pick those guys, game time decisions. They don't play.
Oh.
Boom, nailed it.
But
I like it.
Then you should play the guy behind him. Yeah, Zay Jones goes out, and then you figured, you should plug and start in a DFS. This is what you should do. Jamal Agnew, 21 points out there. 6 targets, 4 receptions, 50 yards, but 2 touchdowns, guys.
Ugh.
Ooh.
Don't chase
Nice.
that. Don't chase that, though.
That team.
No, that's a one and done.
One and done.
But speaking of guys we got off the buses at the right time, Mac Hollins, Greg Dortch, Noah Brown, we're like, no, don't do it. Don't buy into the hype. Now's the time to get off the bus.
Yeah. More like, Noah, thank you.
Hate that.
Yeah, it was a good week, though. Hopefully we have another stellar week 5 here heading into the bye weeks. So make sure you're prepared for that. We will try to help you out. Make sure you like and subscribe if you're watching us on YouTube. Just a Tip A Fantasy Football Podcast. Really appreciate it. You takers have been doing that, downloading our episodes. You can rate and review, leave a question. We'll try to help you out. If we don't get to a player that you're in particular curious about. Well, we always talk every single day and try to help you guys out. So let's try to help the takers out here, Regan, with some trade scenarios, drop scenarios, tip, flip, or flop.
Cook like some burgers on there.
All right, guys, for the first one, tip, flip, or flop, let's get right into it. I got 6 names. I kind of just went randomly. My first one, though, we already talked about it, TJ Hawkinson. He had a wild game this past week. Beforehand, though, not so much, boys. So I want to get the lowdown. So week 4, we all know he had 39.9 fantasy points in PPR. Before that, 7.8 week 1, week 2, 5.6, week 3, 10.8. The thing is, though, he's getting targets. So the first 2 weeks he had 7 targets. The third week he only had 4, but he had a touchdown, which is great. He's had 3 touchdowns in the past 2 games. It's definitely starting to build up, I think, target wise. But that could be because Amon-Ra St. Brown is out. That's what gets me kind of nervous. So the thing is here, it's going to be so hard to even think about trading this guy after a 40-point game. But are we tip, flipping, or flopping this guy? I know in a couple leagues that I have him. I also have Tyler Higbee. You might have been able to grab a couple other guys just in general. So after a big game like that, you guys can probably get a boatload in a trade. Everyone always needs tight ends. Are you guys sticking with this guy? I want to stick with him. I'd probably end up trading like Higbee if I had him instead. But you might be able to flip a little bit more. So Ryan, what do you think? You believe in the hype? You think this is consistent? Obviously, the 40 points is not consistent, but do you think a double-digit score every week is going to be consistent? You're going to keep him or trade him after this big week?
I mean, it's not going to kill you to keep him. He's going to be a top 7 tight end regardless, and he's going to have these boom or bust weeks, which is what most tight ends do. But it's only going to get worse for Hawkinson. That's going to be his best performance of the year because there was no competition for him. He's going to have a good week this week because there's going to be limited competition again. Amon-Ra, you're going to touch on it, Regs, probably not going to play. I'm trying to trade him right now for something like Higbee plus. Get like a really good starting wide receiver, get a solid running back, get your replacement tight end. People will make that trade, I think. I'm even thinking like Tyler Conklin, boys. I can almost guarantee you that he will be, maybe not guarantee, but I'm thinking he's going to be more consistent than Hawkinson for the remainder of the season. That means double-digit performances on a more consistent level than Hawkinson.
No, I like it too. And so Detroit's playing the Patriots this week. The Patriots have led up, I believe, 3 touchdowns in the past 2 games to tight ends. So expect him to have another decent game, probably another touchdown catch. So if you're not able to seal the deal this week, I'm sure you can still do it next week. Anything to add on this, Mac?
I ain't trading him. I'm keeping him. I will take the gooses when he does, but I want the boom play. Higbee's not going to get that boom play like Hawkinson.
He just gets the targets, right?
So volume play, sure. But if I passed on Kelsey and Andrews, I'm taking a tight end that's going to boom. I'm not going for the consistent play. So unless you're trading me Kelsey or Andrews, I ain't interested.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I think this one's kind of like he's tight end 3 on the year. Tight ends are hard to come by. You're trading him if you really can get a good deal. If not, you got to stick with what Mac's saying and just you got him, keep him. Let's move to the next one, guys. Dameon Pierce. This is a tough one because he really rose in the drafts. He went from round 9, 10-9, double-digit rounds to like I saw him in round 4 in some drafts. Mm-hmm. It was wild. He is RB14 on the year so far, guys, and he has been on fire every single week, getting better and better. Week 1, around 4 points. Week 2, 8 points. Week 3, 18 points. Week 4, 26 points. It's been great. His carries have been pretty good. He's been getting double-digit carries every single week. And catches. The guy's perfect on the year, guys. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You said 10 catches, and he's caught them all. Good for him. He doesn't get any red zone targets, but it is what it is. He's had 2 touchdowns the past 2 weeks. Oh, one each game, week 3, week 4. So there's so much hype on his name. You guys could probably get him or trade him off. You probably got him as your running back 3 or 4, especially if you drafted early. Do you guys keep him and save him as a great backup, or what do you call it, like a bye week fill in, or are you guys going to trade him off? Mac, I'll start with you.
I think he's my RB2. I'm not benching him.
Ooh,
I think
okay.
he's this year's James Robinson from what was that 2020 when James Robinson broke out.
2020.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Last year's Connor.
Yeah, the guy that you got great value off of. Exactly.
Yep.
So I'm not taking him. That's the league winner right there for you. I'm not trading him unless I can maybe take the risk with Jonathan Taylor or McCaffrey. Okay, then you can talk to me, or maybe Dalvin Cook. But no, I'm keeping him because running backs are absolute garbage. It sucks. But before this past week, the stat was like the lowest amount of points for the top 12 fantasy running backs since 7 years ago. Something like that. It's ridiculous. It's just passing league.
We talked about this a lot in off season. It's crazy. Those top running backs are tough to get. Ryan, you got anything to add on this?
Yeah, I think context is everything, right? Like I'm tipping my hat to Dameon Pierce. I don't want to trade him. He's the running back 1. But at the same time, like if you have Dameon Pierce and you have no receivers and you're 1-3 or 2-2, or 0-4, like you're gonna have to make moves. And if he's running back 3 and you don't have depth at receiver, you got to make a move. And he's a good guy. He's a good piece to move.
Yeah. No, good call to establish that to the takers just in general. All these guys, if you're in a situation and you got to do something, do it. Don't just sit there and watch your team lose. Try to make a move. All right, for the next one, I think this is the ultimate tip. I love this guy going into the season. I wish I didn't write his name in the doc so you guys couldn't see it, because I could just say, like, wouldn't you like to have a receiver that's had 12, 6, 9, and 9 targets, three touchdowns already in 4 weeks, the wide receiver 10 on the season, and it's Christian Kirk from Jacksonville. That is wild. He has 71 points on the season. Guy's killing it. I wanted him so bad. I only got him in 1 league. He was going really early compared to where I thought he should have been going, but he was worth it. He's showing it. He's consistent. This past week, he only had 8 fantasy points, but the weeks before, 17, 25, 19. He's been absolutely killing it. I'm not too worried about last week. Mac already named a couple names that did a little bit better.
It was
That's probably why.
It was crummy weather, and Lawrence turned the ball over 5 times. So 4 fumbles. You lose opportunities and drives. So don't count against them. That should be
Mac,
a good time to trade for him.
For him? Yeah, that's what I was trying to do. That's a great call.
But I would be willing to flip him.
Ooh.
If I could get if I'm desperate at running back and I am 1-3, okay, I'm flipping this guy and be like, all right, listen, you got a top 12 wide receiver here. Give me a running back that's underperforming here. Or if I'm really weak at tight end and it's not working out, yep, go ahead. Opposite position, because I can pick up another wide receiver that's going to come on. Like an Aaron Jones, maybe trade for him. Joe Mixon, running back 15 right now, who just unlucky with touchdowns. He's getting over 20 opportunities now, and he's not scoring too high. So Joe Mixon should break out soon enough. If you need a running back, that's who I would target.
Yeah, your context.
Go ahead, Reese.
No, I'm sorry. Your context is just the fact that he's probably a 3rd or 4th wide receiver, and it's easy to, it's hard to have a starting running back, so it makes sense.
Yeah, CEH, I think, is another name. J.K. Dobbins, you might be able to dangle Kirk in front of those names and pull the trigger there.
Both of those names.
CEH, man, I don't know.
No.
Coming around on Dobbins, CEH, I think, is a bit of fool's gold. Too much touchdown luck right now. So
I'm telling you
nervous.
Both of them finished out of the top 18 end of season. CH and Dobbins.
Could be fool's gold for fool's gold. Not
I'm a
totally
fool,
convinced
so.
on Christian Kirk. Not totally convinced, Jeff. But
All right. Let's keep this moving. I got 3 more names. I just want to run through these real quick. Michael Pittman's my next one, guys. He's wide receiver 36. It's been rough. Really rough. He didn't play week 2. 6 points last week. Week 1 we were so excited. 9 for 13, 121 yards and a touchdown, 27.1 fantasy points. We were like, oh, we were right. This is the guy. He's going to be top 5. And every single week it's gotten a little worse and worse. That being said, I'm still happy about this guy, and I think this might be the ultimate trade for. He's had 13, 9, and 6 targets in all his games. He's been injured after week 2, so you got to give him a little bit more credit on week 3 and 4. And, he probably would have got a little bit more targets if he wasn't hobbled or whatever. So that being said, I'm still tipping. I definitely, you're not flopping him.
No.
Flipping him, and you're not going to get the value that you spent on him because he was going like 2nd round, 3rd round, the latest. So I'm tipping and I'm trying to get at this point. Ryan, you agree?
Yep. Tip. He already has 5 targets with 4 receptions at halftime in this game. He's really only had the one underachieving game last week.
Yep.
And I'm tipping him. Trade him in Dynasty. You can get a 23 first-round pick, and I don't know what that future is going to look like for that offense. They have to get wide receiver depth at some point.
And a new quarterback. That's probably going to be a rookie and be rough.
They're in the perfect spot to tank right now, get a better quarterback in the draft, but they won't do that.
Oh, good call, Ryan.
Don't end up like DK. It could end up like DK, and that's hurting a lot of Dynasty owners right now.
What are you talking about?
Go ahead.
DK's doing great. What are you talking about?
Yeah, on his way to take a dump.
He could be doing better. He had a good week last week, but also he played the Lions. So let's not
Him and Metcalf, wide receiver 21 and 22. Way more than we expected. Way better.
All right, boys.
Falcons and Lions, man. He put up his performances against the Falcons and Lions. I can't. DK.
So we're flipping DK. That's what you're saying.
I'm flipping DK, yeah.
Okay, cool. What else we got, Regan?
All right, let's just keep it in Indy for the second to last one. Jonathan Taylor. I had to throw this one in here because I just wanted to hear what you guys had to say. RB22 on the season. Not playing tonight, as we know. A little rough right here. Again, just like Michael Pittman, week 1. 31 carries for 161 yards, a touchdown, 4 catches for another 7, 4 for 7 in catches. I mean, he had 7 targets, only had 14 yards, but had 23.5 fantasy points week 1, just like Pittman, did awesome. And ever since then, it's been rough. It's been real rough. Obviously, last week, I believe it's a high ankle sprain that he has. I got to double check. I wrote it in the
It's
note.
not as it was the X-rays weren't as bad as they initially thought. So he could be back next week, but
yeah, I think
it might take him some time.
Too much of a turnaround this week for Thursday game. So Mac, he went for you. He went 2nd overall because you had C-Mac above him, I believe, right?
I got he went 3rd overall, so I got McCaffrey. I think, it doesn't matter. Yeah, he was 2nd overall in one league. I took him 2nd overall in a 10-team league. And now all the vultures are coming and trading me, or trying to trade Alan Lazard and AJ Dillon for him right now. Get out of my face with that. Yeah. He will come back. You are tipping him. Don't worry about it.
Okay, I like it. Honestly, I can't fight you on that one. You spent so much value on him. I think you have to see it out no matter what. Don't just jump the gun. All right.
If somebody came at you, real quick, if somebody came at you and said Breece Hall and CeeDee Lamb for JT.
Breece Hall and CeeDee Lamb? Yeah, absolutely. I would do that.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Breece Hall is going to be a top 12 running back by the end of the season. So
it'd have to look something. It'd have to be like a 2-for-1 where you're really
going
to build some
for the number 1 overall. Absolutely.
If I'm 500 right now, I'm holding. If I'm below, okay, I will entertain offers like that for sure.
All right, guys, last one so we can finish this off. Amari Cooper, wide receiver 24 on the season so far. Are we tip flipping or flopping him? Goose egg last week, pretty much 1.9 points, 1 for 4 for 9 yards. Wow. That was after a 25 and 23 point week in week 2 and 3. Somebody asked me, I was at basketball. Somebody asked me, Derek, I don't know if he's listening, but in general, shout out. He was like, hey, am I just playing Cooper now? And I was like, I think you have to. That 10 targets, 11 targets. Week 1, he had 6. He's getting the targets. Last week, I'm just thinking it was a fluke. That's what I'm hoping. Ryan, are you as nervous as I am about Amari Cooper and that offense? Or
it's so hard to put a finger on. Like, it really is. I think you're right. I think you have to play him. If you have him, you can't bench him because he could have a 25, 26 point game. You don't want to miss out on that. It's like having Mike Williams. I don't love it. I'd rather have like Christian Kirk. I'd rather have Michael Pittman. I'd rather have Drake London, Chris Olave, these guys around him. So I might try to go out and flip for somebody who might give me some more consistency. And that's always been my play. Consistency over boom.
Yeah, I'm expecting a turnaround this week. I forget who they're playing, but I know it's a good matchup for him.
Chargers. So Amari Cooper is the target majority leader on that team with 25% and over 36% air yards for the team. When he goes off against the Chargers this week, you can start him. Their defense is terrible.
Mm-hmm.
You are going to flip Amari Cooper for a Michael Pittman, Christian Kirk, something like that. I would absolutely do that.
Yeah, obviously,
or Breece Hall.
But yeah, I love it.
Yeah, yep. Flip him after this weekend.
All right, boys. That concludes tip flip or flop. Loved it. And please, anyone throw up some names. We'll let you know what we think about them.
All right, awesome, Beautiful. Man.
Treat me right fucking now.
Thank you, Regan. All right. We got a little bit of guys in the hurt locker that we got to burn through real quick. Impactful injuries. Regan, you need a breath? You want me to?
Nope, I'm golden, dude. Let's
got this.
Just go through this, Bad Larry.
All right. Okay.
All right.
Here we go.
So I was told just to do the 3 most impactful, but I just had to throw a list down. I'm going to say the names, and I'm going to go over 3.
Let's go.
That I think are the most. Keenan Allen, hamstring, did not practice. Amon-Ra St. Brown, as we predicted, did not practice. DeAndre Swift, we think he's going to be out even next week because they have a bye, not practicing. Tyreek Hill, this is a new one that came out today, limited today with a quad injury.
Mm-hmm.
Curtis Samuel, been doing great. He has an illness. Nothing's being said. It hasn't been said that it's COVID. It hasn't, nothing. It could just be a stomach bug, but he's missed the past 2 practices.
His illness is he's the illest.
That's what it is. Cool, man.
Damn it. Where is it?
Get boom. Tough acting tonight.
Yes.
Anyways, staying in Washington, Jahan Dotson, hamstring, missed the second practice as well. I don't expect him to play. I'm expecting Curtis Samuel to play unless it's something a little bit more of an illness. Let's keep it going. Save your comments for after.
Okay.
Peanut gallery. Right. Alan Lazard, ankle, practice limited again today. This is something I think we need to watch because this has been hampering him for the past 3 weeks. Dante Johnson, Pittsburgh, hip injury came out. That's a new one for today. The practice limited. Treylon Burks, toe injury, not practicing. At this point in time, I'm dropping him. He hasn't shown anything to us. Robert Woods all day, and you could probably find him on waivers. I found him in a couple. Rashad Bateman, Baltimore, wide receiver, his foot, missed practice today. That's a big one. Kyle Pitts, another new one today. Hamstring, not at practice today. Michael Thomas, toe, not at practice today. So that's the real bad stuff. The last 3 that I have that are somewhat good. David Montgomery, ankle, returned to practice today in a limited fashion. So be careful if you were trying to play Herbert and running with that. He has a good chance of playing this week. Isaiah McKenzie, concussion protocol. He is actually at practice today in a non-contact jersey. I'm expecting him to play. And then the last one was Daniel Jones, ankle, practice again today in a limited fashion. I'm expecting him to play as well. So 3 names. I don't know if you guys got anything.
Kyle Pitts, guys, if he's active, do we even bother starting him?
I hope
he's
been
been
somebody else.
real disappointing. I picked up Tyler Conklin.
Baby.
And I'm just going to start him. Hopefully you pick up Gerald Everett. And I'm not playing Pitts right now. I will wait to see how he does. I'd rather.
Yeah, I'm about to mention Tyler Conklin in the next segment too. So
nice.
All right. I got some stuff for him.
Well, guys, are you sitting? Are you sitting down? You sitting down right now?
Yeah,
sitting down.
Taysom Hill has more points per game than Kyle Pitts, and you can put him in your tight end slot. Do that instead. OJ Howard.
Wow.
They just cut Pharaoh Brown with the Texans, and the other tight end is on the backup. He's on the injury report. He's probably not going to play. OJ Howard will have a better week than Kyle Pitts. So,
wow.
Take a shot on those guys instead.
Oh, man.
That's it.
That's gross. Anything else? I think Curtis Samuel, I think you just watch out for that illness. I expect him to play. The Allen Lazard one, I think it's something we have to really watch. The Rashad Bateman one, we have to really watch. Tyreek Hill, we have to really watch. And then the one that I'm really worried about is the Keenan Allen one. That's another week that he's not practicing. Hamstrings are rough for wide receivers.
We talked about this in the off season, and we were nervous about this. Like, this could be his last year of fantasy relevance, and we were nervous about his injury history too, the soft tissue. So I avoided him.
Same,
but you can't drop him. You can't trade him. So yeah, just got to hold on. Hopefully he gets back for the back half of the season.
One thing I do have to say is this could be a reoccurring injury. That's what hamstrings usually are. Mm-hmm. So if he comes back and has an okay game, trade him.
Mm-hmm.
Just trade.
Get what you can. All right.
Exactly. I think you should. I'm just be worried about not having him for the playoffs or something stupid.
Mm-hmm.
So,
gotcha.
That's what it is.
If you're stuck with him, then
I know, but I don't think he's doing a very good. I'd quit. Like if you've been working out for like 4 days and that's all you get, and the going gets tough. If it's that tough, just quit.
Just quit. Okay. All right. Enough of that. Let's get serious, guys. Sexy flexi time. What do we got here, Ryan?
All right, 2 scenarios real quick. First one, full PPR, pick 1. Conklin versus Miami, 7.25 targets per game, averaging over 11 fantasy points per game. And it's pretty consistent. And Miami's ranked 26th in fantasy points against per game against the tight end position. Mm-hmm. So do you go Tyler Conklin or do you go Josh Palmer versus Cleveland, knowing Keenan Allen's probably going to be out? Do you go Darnell Mooney? Put up some points last week.
Oh, get out of here.
Most of it came on a 75-yard catch, but against Minnesota, or Mostert versus the Jets, Zay Jones versus Houston. That's a tough one. It's a tough one. I'm leaning Conklin.
God.
Or Zay Jones.
I'd have to look at what he did with Wilson last week. I didn't look into depth.
Conklin, 5 targets. I know that. I was just trying to pull that up for him.
That's not bad. I don't mind 5 targets. 5 targets is more than a lot of these guys are getting.
So yeah, he's not going to get his 8+ that he was getting with Joe Flacco, but 5 for 352 yards, 8 points. Yeah, take that. Okay, yep. That's fine. If you need a boom play, say you're projected to lose, go with Mooney.
Okay,
that's something we normally do.
I'm actually leaning kind of Zay Jones. Josh Palmer, I might give it another shot. He had a bad week last week, but he's been pretty good.
He left with injury though last week, and then
Yes.
Yeah,
Zay
he might
Jones
not
didn't
play.
play
Yeah.
last week. So it's
I
do you
know.
trust the guys coming off of injuries, or do you trust
No news on him either, by the way.
yeah, or do you trust the guy that's in a crappy offense, but he's the number one?
Good point. Whoever this is in a real tough situation.
Yeah, they're
Good.
fucked.
Good luck, Taker. Hold
That's
that.
Next
Ryan.
next one I have is a 10-team, one flex, half-point PPR. Still Dre is the team name. He's currently playing Christian Kirk. So last week, obviously, I think we mentioned this: 9 targets, 2 receptions. He's playing him over CEH, Kareem Hunt, who's playing the Chargers, and Terry McLaurin. So who are you playing here? Are you playing Christian Kirk, CEH, Kareem Hunt, or Terry McLaurin against the Titans?
Terry McLaurin all day. Both wide receivers might be out, Curtis Samuel and Johnson. So easy one for me.
Yeah, more on McLaurin later.
All right. Cool.
That's
That's
what I'm putting in. Yep. All right.
Sexy flexy.
Thank you. That was too sexy. Put some ice cubes on that. Too hot. I don't know. It's late.
Wow.
It's 10:15 at night.
In the
I don't
Taker's
know.
defense, it's IR Regan's fault that we're doing this so late.
Whatever.
That's why I made another drink while you guys talked about flex.
Oh, there you go.
Ooh, that drink is flexy.
The Takers don't like it. I don't know why you're listening anyway. So I get it. All right, guys, let's get into some quick start sit questions here. Tip drill.
You guys stop.
All right, here we go. Let's go with QBs here. We got this is kind of like the line here for me. Geno Smith, he's been hot. 77% completion, yards per attempt. You think, all right, he's probably just checking it down. Nope. He is throwing it downfield. 7.9 yards attempt. He's throwing it deep to Metcalf and Lockett over the middle to him. He's only 25% roster, guys. Do we not have faith against New Orleans? You think Marshawn Lattimore, they're just going to bring him down to earth?
Yeah, no, I'm not playing him this week.
You're not playing. All right. You will not play him over Carson Wentz versus Tennessee. Weak defense. He's been finishing as a QB 30 and 27.
Who has Geno Smith and Carson Wentz? That guy sucks. He's got
Yeah.
Hey, I have Geno and Russell.
All right. Say you had Trey Lance. You drafted him. He got hurt. Then you pick up Tua. And then he gets hurt.
All right.
Somebody that you might know has to pick between Carson Wentz and Geno Smith or Jared Goff.
Smith.
Jared Goff, QB5 at New England, guys. Are we scared? Are we starting him? Regan, the unbiased Patriot fan.
I don't know. Say it again.
Are you playing Jared Goff over Geno Smith, Carson Wentz, Ryan Tannehill?
I'm playing Geno Smith
over those three. Okay. Kirk Cousins against Chicago, guys. He hasn't been great. Was it QB 15 on the year?
Though.
At Chicago, they should run all over them. Their running defense sucks. Boom game for Dalvin Cook. I think I'm looking away from Cousins, and I'll take my shot with Jared Goff. He hasn't been that
one
impressive.
Of those games where Cousins throws for like 190 but 3 touchdowns too. So
it could be that too.
Or 330 and 1 touchdown.
All right. Well, I wouldn't hate that either. All right. Running backs, guys. Breece Hall, he's steady climbing the snap shares. We've been telling you to train him. His snap percentage is up to 66%. Miami, 4th in the run defense, though. And they might be weak in the backfield with Howard. Probably not going to play. Are we sure enough to start Breece Hall right now?
I don't want to start anyone on the Jets if you don't have to. I just don't trust because we don't really know the whole Zach Wilson, Joe Flacco trade-off. We really don't.
Nope.
Who's going to affect what? So I'd like to wait one more week. Zach Wilson practiced in full today. He should be good to go. He was questionable going into the week.
I mean, Breece Hall as a RB2, I'm starting him, but that's because
You have
Jonathan Taylor went down. So, but I'm totally okay with it. He is currently running back 17 on the year. I'm totally fine starting him. Would you start him, Ryan, over Ramondre Stevenson or Damian Harris going against the Lions?
Detroit. Nope.
I take my chances with anybody against Detroit right now. So if you have Stevenson or Harris, I think I'm playing them both over Hall.
Okay. All right.
32 defense.
What about Nick Chubb's a lock, but Kareem Hunt, guys, a little bit disappointing. But the Chargers allowing the fourth most receptions and 7th most receiving yards to running backs. Is this a bounce back game for Kareem Hunt?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I would start Kareem Hunt this week, and I would probably start him over Breece Hall.
You would start him over Breece Hall. All right, that's our line. The Breece Hall line.
I'm not expecting a crazy game, though. I'm expecting him just to get back.
He's the Hall monitor, so you can't cross him until we allow it. Chase Edmonds, Raheem Mostert, guys. Can we trust these guys? Mostert getting 72% of snaps.
Stop! I can't play either of them right now.
They're playing the Jets, though, and we saw Cleveland tear it up. And they got Teddy Bridgewater under center, so they're not going to be slinging it everywhere. I think they're going to be running.
I think it's Mostert. I think Mostert's the guy. Yeah.
All right. But you would start Breece Hall over both of them, right?
Yeah, yes. I would.
Really?
Sadly.
Okay. All right, guys. ETN, you're benching. Antonio Gibson really disappointing against Tennessee, and Brian Robinson on the way back. Check your waiver wire. Meant to say that.
Check your IR spot eligibility because that's where he is still.
Mm-hmm. Are we going to bank on a big play that Tennessee tends to give up?
No, I don't like that.
Nope.
Never bank on that.
No, that sucks. Cam Akers, Darrell Henderson versus Dallas. You got to bench them. They suck. Their offensive line sucks, guys. You can't start them. In my opinion,
I'm really hoping that gets revamped before the trade deadline or something because that is gross. They've let up the most sacks to Matthew Stafford in his career in the first 4 weeks. It's gross.
Maybe he's just not that good. I don't know.
Shut your mouth.
All right, guys. Wide receivers here. Amari Cooper, like I was saying, start him against the Chargers. Josh Reynolds, 7 for 81 and a touchdown with no St. Brown again this week. Can we put him back in? Like we were saying with Jacksonville, Zay Jones went down. Jamal Agnew, he filled in nicely. So did Josh Reynolds. Guys, do we want to take these guys and fill our slots?
I mean, if you go with like the old Patriots mantra, whatever that word is, and they're gonna lock down the number one option for the Lions, which is going to be Hawkinson
or Jamal Williams.
Jamal Williams. That's going to leave Josh Reynolds. So I would start him for sure. Even if Chark plays, I'm starting Josh Reynolds.
He's a wide receiver 3 for you or a flex play. I don't mind it at all.
For sure.
Devontae Smith here, Regan. I know you're a fan of him. 15, then 31 points, then 5. Good thing he's facing Arizona. And Arizona's defense, guys, they focus on taking care of the number one. So that's A.J. Brown. Who's going to get the majority of the targets then? Devontae Smith or Dallas Goedert? I'm going to take Devontae Smith with his speed coming across the middle. I'm willing to flex him again.
I don't think you can go wrong with any player on Philly this week.
No,
no, you really can't.
You know, I'm playing Goddard absolutely, and I'm playing Smith. I'm playing AJ Brown without a doubt. Obviously, I love that. And then you're gonna have a little bonus round with Miles Sanders. Hopefully, he can keep up the production because that's been awesome to see.
Ryan, yeah, I do. Ryan, DJ Moore, he hasn't finished better than wide receiver 30. Now he has San Francisco.
We had to see it against Arizona. That was his week. What did he catch? He had 12 fantasy points, I think, in a PPR format. I think he had 5 receptions. So non-PPR, not a good game.
It's no non-PPR, no, but we usually go off of PPR. That's a good
Yeah.
flex wide receiver floor play. I don't mind
Yeah,
it.
with the best matchup. Now he's got Sanford.
Yeah.
No, DJ Moore is a bench. He's a bench.
Bench.
Don't play
It's a
him.
bench.
It's a
Okay.
bench. Rather play Devontae Smith over him.
Oh,
That's
Would
an
you
easy
rather?
one.
Yeah,
hell yes.
that's definitely an easy one. What about this guy, Elijah Moore, for the Jets going against Miami, guys? He hasn't been good. 10, 7, 9, and 9 were his points. I think Miami's strength is their front, and they're gonna have to pass on them. And if Xavier Howard doesn't play, Byron Jones is still not gonna play. I think he can. He's gonna get a touchdown.
I'm expecting at least
Okay.
12 points from Elijah Moore this week.
Yeah, I'd say double-digit point play
Yep.
for him.
Low end double digit point. It's versus Miami. Even though it's going to be Teddy Bridgewater, I think it's going to, Miami's still going to kind of have the hold of this game, and they're going to need to pass it. So Elijah Moore is going to be the guy, I think.
You play
Moving
Amari
forward,
Cooper.
Him and Corey Davis. What's up?
Yeah.
Sorry, you play Amari Cooper over him. But what about Josh Reynolds against New England? Who you going with, Elijah Moore or Josh Reynolds?
Probably Elijah Moore.
Ryan, you were saying moving forward, what?
Yeah, I'm going Josh Reynolds in that scenario. But if you're in a scenario where you have like DJ Moore, Elijah Moore, and some of these other guys who are underachieving and aren't scoring any touchdowns, play the matchup. Like that's all you can do. You're going to have to play one of these guys, and I don't know. Probably not going to cut them, although you might be okay cutting them. Elijah Moore, you might be okay cutting.
Robert Woods, 32% available right now.
Mm-hmm.
So
He's
pick
out.
him up and play him.
Jamal Agnew, 100% available.
100%.
Probably like 97. His mom's got him in his league.
Yeah, for
Aw.
sure. Some diehard Jacksonville fans.
He doesn't even have him in his own league.
Does have himself. Oh, poor guy. All right. All right, guys. Let's get to just real quick. Gerald Everett, start him. He's getting plays from Herbert.
So bummed out. I passed on him.
Logan Thomas, guys, tight end for the Commanders, end zone threat. Dotson most likely going to be out. Maybe Curtis Samuel. I like Logan Thomas. And then Kyle Pitts, I'm benching and starting Conklin over him.
There could be a point in the season where you cut Kyle Pitts. Could you imagine that?
Very well. We entertained it in a stretch last year as well. So
we did. Then he ended with 1,000 yards. Like what?
It was a stretch. It's that offense, man. I don't know. They got to wake up. All right, guys, let's get to our risque starts and sits here. Ryan, give me your start.
All right, so I'm thinking and this is only if Isaiah McKenzie does not suit up and he has a concussion. Regan was saying he's leaning maybe towards him playing this week, but it's a big question mark. If he does not play, a name to keep an eye on, Khalil Shakur. Jamison Crowder has a broken ankle. He's not playing. Shakur already had 2 catches, 23 yards last week with McKenzie playing. He's going to be the slot option. So I would flex him for sure this week if Isaiah McKenzie is out.
I love it.
All right. Nice. Going back real quick, Corey Davis, pick him up on the Jets instead of Elijah Moore because Zach Wilson tends to throw to him more. My risque start is, I guess not really risky, but Terry McLaurin, guys, he's been a little bit disappointing. He hasn't finished higher than wide receiver 24. I think he'll be a top 15 wide receiver this week. No Dotson against a terrible Titans defense. Lock him in. He's good to go. Don't disappoint me, McLaurin. Regan, who do you got?
This is a risque play.
This one is, yeah.
I'm still sticking with Gabe Davis, guys. Playing Pitt, 28th against the pass. He the past 2 weeks he's gotten touchdown, he's gotten red zone passes, but just hasn't come down with them. He's seeing the targets in the end zone. Yeah, it's sadly that's what it's kind of come down to. But I'm expecting him to finally have a breakout. I think he needs one. I think this is kind of like the whole Treylon Burks thing that we were talking about, Ryan, where we know the guy has the talent, but we're kind of just waiting for it. I don't want to miss this guy, especially on a high-powered offense like the Bills compared to like Tennessee for Treylon Burks. If somebody's going to break out for the Bills, it's going to be a breakout and a half. So I think if you can put him in there as a flex, I'm doing it.
What's a breakout and a half? Like, do you break half the window, like just the top pane, or like what is that?
Yeah, when they come separately, you just break out like one,
Okay,
and then you just keep going. You go from there.
I gotcha.
You dick.
That's the other half. Ryan, who's an unpopular risque sit for you?
Coming off his huge week last week, Reshaad Penny.
Mm.
Saints are 8th best against running backs fantasy points per game. They've only allowed 1 rushing touchdown all season. Reshaad Penny is not one to get a lot of work in the passing game. So you can forget any kind of like significant points this week. I think from Reshaad Penny, I think he's back to being a bench candidate.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be by committee there. Sick
Nope.
guys.
Just on that
Go
one,
ahead,
like I
please.
said earlier, just Kenneth Walker, new injury today. I can't remember what it was. I believe it was a shoulder. But keep that in mind because moving forward, Reshaad Penny might get a lot of work. I agree with you though, Ryan. I'm not playing him this week.
I'm using like Ken Walker as like a fullback. I don't know what Pete Carroll's doing over there.
It's so weird. Like, just give Reshaad Penny the ball.
They're just having fun. And scoring points.
Yeah.
Geno Smith, top 12 quarterback.
He's 9.
He's 9, yeah. Top 10, excuse me. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
weird. That's strange
I
here.
insulted Geno Smith there. My sit, guys, risque. Derek Carr, he sucks. All right. He's going to Kansas City. I'm not starting him. You can't make me do it. I'd rather start Zappy against Detroit because at least I know that they let up a lot of points. You think I'm joking? I'd rather do that. He's had one good game in Kansas City in Arrowhead, and that was in the year 2020 when there's no fans there. So I don't know what it is, but it's Monday night game, and you might think, oh, it's a high over under. No, not Derek Carr. Don't do it.
He's just not a people person.
I will.
Can somebody put a PSA out for Patriots fans for this weekend that if Bailey Zappi throws for 350 yards and 4 touchdowns, it's not because Bailey Zappi is good. It's because everybody in the league does that to the Lions. Like, let's put that out ahead of time. That's going to happen. Please, for the love of Christ.
Hey, Mac Jones practice limited today.
Yeah, he's not playing. He's limping around. He can't move. Sports radio is absolutely garbage. They don't know what they're talking about. The funny thing about becoming amateur fantasy football analysts and all the research that we do is that you can tell how much these guys BS their way through everything, and they do no research whatsoever. They are literally saying trade away Mac Jones if Billy Zappi goes off this week. Like, trade Mac Jones for a first-round pick because he sucks. It's like, well, then how is he worth a first-round pick? You freaking it! Oh my
this
God.
Is real NFL, like real NFL trade that they're saying.
That's what they're talking about. Real NFL, yeah. Like, just roll with Zappy because he's the next. He's the next Brady. He's the next Brady. Bledsoe went down, so then Brady came in, and now they're like, oh, Mac Jones went down, so no Zappy's coming in. Like, they went with Brian Hoyer instead of Zappy. Chill, people. Your Pats fans
Everybody thinks we're going to strike lightning in a bottle twice, and it's not going to happen. Bailey Zappi was like manageable, sure. Like he helped us stay in the game, great. He's not going to be an elite quarterback.
Yeah,
we're going to get like a Matt Flynn who goes off for 4 games, and then everybody's going to be like, "Yes, this is the second coming," and then we'll have a Matt Flynn.
I mean, usually people
to say about this.
I do too. Usually people catch lightning in a bottle instead of striking it twice in the bottle, but that's cool.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Regan, what about you? What were you saying?
No, it's like a few. Like, first off, I can't listen to talk radio anymore because
it's garbage.
Everyone just incompetent, and it's just there for people to call in, and then just trying to piss people off. I understand you gotta get people listening. Well, better than pissing people off. Moving forward, though, Patriots, they put Brian Hoyer in because they brought Brian Hoyer in to help Mac Jones because everyone else, coaching staff-wise, is incompetent to even help him. Brian Hoyer is there for Mac Jones. They put Brian Hoyer on IR today. He could have played this past week. His concussion didn't look that bad. There wasn't much news on it. We see everyone come back from concussions way too early. They kind of just did him a favor by giving him the start because he's more capable. He's, more experience. And then the whole Green Bay thing. Green Bay was ranked 4th overall in ESPN's power standings. They have sucked this entire year. They're horrible. Their defense is crazy. Aaron Rodgers he's got no talent around him. It's pathetic. So Zappy, yes, he did okay. Congratulations. The guy played college football. This isn't his first football game. It wasn't some guy off the bench. We have to understand that, the guy's
off the streets. He was off the bench.
He was off the bench. But
was he, though? Because their benches are pretty nice. They're more like seats. That's all I'm saying. They got heat and shit. All right, sorry. I had to vent. People suck.
They do. I like it.
I hate them all.
Who are you sitting this week? Let's get back on topic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, podcast. Sorry. So this one's a pretty easy one because they're playing Tampa Bay, but everyone lost Cordell Patterson going into this week. I said it last week that I was worried about him. I said I'm worried about him in general going forward through the year because of his age, how much he's running. I said that. I told you to sit him. He came out, had a great game. I was an idiot, and then that day after, they're like, yeah, he's just taking personal times and his knee hurts. Not a big deal. Personal time again the next day. Then they just yeah, he's not going to play. Something's up. I'm worried about the guy. That being said, Tyler Algier was the guy that we talked about. I hammered it a lot going into the season that he could take over for the Atlanta Falcons. I'm excited about him, but I'm not excited about him versus the Bucs. You do not want to play against the Bucs. I'm glad you guys got him if you did stash him this week. And moving forward, you can play him. But kind of hold off this week. Do not play Tyler Algier versus the Bucs. They are, I think, number 4 overall. So versus the run.
Yep. Not a good spot to be in. And Atlanta's going to get absolutely smashed. Speaking of smashing, let's smash these. No. Ryans. New York Giants and Green Bay over across the pond. Shout out to Dynasty Brett. Green Bay favored by 8. I'm going Green Bay.
As much shit I just talked about them, yes, they're going to beat the Giants. That they don't even know if they have a quarterback.
Yeah, I'm going Green Bay. But the Giants could easily cover that spread, especially if Jones is healthy.
Okay. Speaking of spreads, I haven't seen this type of spread since Shakiri board the other night.
Good save.
And the splits that Ryan's mom did the other night. Anyway, Pittsburgh at Buffalo.
Flexible.
14.
Talk about sexy flexy.
Uh-huh.
Oh, man.
Nice. Buffalo beating Pittsburgh by 2 touchdowns.
Buffalo,
Can Pittsburgh cover this with Pickett coming in? I don't think so.
I'm excited.
Kenny time.
To see him.
It's a trap. That's a trap. Buffalo is definitely whooping on him.
Yeah, I'm trying to mention Frymouth too, by the way. Chargers in Cleveland. This one's kind of tough for me, guys. Chargers are favored by 2.5. Yeah, I just don't know. Chargers, their defense is so weak. I think Cleveland can just run the ball over them and control it. I'm gonna go. It's in Cleveland too. I'm going Cleveland.
Ooh.
Wow.
I think you might have just persuaded me with.
No, don't listen to me. I suck at this.
Hey, Ryan's top 4, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Top,
yeah,
top of the list, baby.
Are you top?
He's
You number 2?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I saw him the second one down. If not the first, but lower.
I gotcha. You going Chargers, Ryan?
I went heavy favorites this week, so I am going Chargers. Yes.
Gotcha. Houston at Jacksonville. Jacksonville favored by 7. I thought you did say Browns. I thought I said I convinced you. Sorry, Regan.
You might have persuaded me.
Okay. I'm sorry. Jacksonville.
Jacks.
Poor Houston. 0-3-1. Chicago at Minnesota. Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
Now, guys, I said this in my bold predictions that Detroit will beat New England. I thought they would have Amon-Ra, though, and DeAndre Swift, so now I might have to pivot. God. I'm still going to say Detroit. I'm going to say they get a tough road win.
I hate your face.
I know.
I can't pick Bailey Zappi. I gotta go Detroit.
Oh, wow.
Zap City.
Mhm.
Fucking thunderstorm coming down. Like Thor on the field.
Zap and Thor. What are we talking? Oh, lightning zapping. Gotcha. Seattle at New Orleans. New Orleans.
New Orleans.
Well,
I went back and forth on that one, though. I went back and forth.
It's tough. They're favored by 5.5. New Orleans is. What about you, Regan?
Oh God, Jameis Winston is questionable. Was not at practice today.
No Michael Thomas, most likely.
No Michael Thomas. I'm not worried about Michael Thomas. They have weapons. They,
I don't think they have Landry though either. So Marcus Callaway, DFS play.
Wow.
Mm.
I think I still have to go with the Saints. Seattle's just too aggressive. Pretty bad.
Yeah, I don't see the Saints going 1-4. Miami at the Jets. Teddy Bridgewater. I don't know. I'm going to go Miami.
Yeah. You go Miami.
Oh, Miami went Jets last week. That paid out.
You did that right. I flipped it last second like an idiot. Atlanta, Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is going to destroy them. 9.5 favorite. Agreed.
Yes.
Okay.
I just wanted to
need to
vent
put on that
something
one.
real quick that the London games screw everything over. So I went to go switch to Atlanta last
Seattle?
week.
Oh yeah.
And it was like 9:30 and the game had already started and it locked. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah.
And then I would have been tied for first place. Oh, for the week. I was so upset.
That was my fault. That was my problem too. Yeah, I'll use that excuse. Tennessee at Washington. This one's tough, guys.
Yeah, it is. I'm going
Tennessee. Derrick Henry's
Yeah.
going to run over.
Tennessee. They're on a hot. They're on a bit of a hot streak here.
Yeah, Washington's lost a lot of weapons this week. Most likely.
Chase Young coming back yet? They need him desperately on that line. San Fran at Carolina.
San Fran.
San Fran.
Yeah, it's got to be San Fran.
Getting a contract.
Philly going to go 5-0 against Arizona.
Oh yeah,
they're favored by 5. Philadelphia. Dallas at the Rams. This one. Can Cooper Rush keep it going?
I know.
No.
Can he keep his winning streak alive? I'm going to say yes. I'm not a believer in the Rams. I'm not a believer in the Rams. I'm going to go.
I believe in their defense.
Do you? Did you see what they could not stop Jimmy G?
It's Cooper Rush.
I know.
Yeah, good point. It's Jimmy G as well. Sorry. Thought you were going to say something else.
Sorry, Alan. Don't hate me. Bengals at Baltimore. I got to go Baltimore.
You have to.
Cincinnati's defense is tough, though. All right. And then Monday night, Raiders at Kansas City. Get out of here.
I like what they're doing with these good games, though, at the end, Monday night.
The primetime ones? Yeah. Stop putting Chicago.
Seriously.
Forget the NFC East. I don't get it. Don't do that to us anymore. I would much rather see Patriots in Detroit on Monday or Sunday night than
high-scoring game.
Dallas and Giants. Get out of here. All right, takers, if you made it this long, much appreciated. Go ahead and rate and review. And
very surprised.
Leave a comment. Yeah, that would be too. But we hope you're entertained. You guys have anything for the leftovers?
Guys, I need help.
Yes, you do. With what?
I don't watch any TV at all. Like,
that's not like a bad thing.
No shows. I watch football, and that's it. What show should I get back into it? I got The Boys. I got the whatever Lord of the Rings one came out. The
don't do that.
The Game of Thrones. You see, Snow is coming out. I'm pretty excited about that for Game of Thrones. Off. What do I watch? Have you guys seen
Ted Lasso.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
the picture that he has up on his wall? It's like a sign held up with tape. Some guy at work got it.
Believe.
He got the picture and put it up at work right on the wall. I was like, and it's like a 4 foot by 2 foot picture. I was like, holy shit, dude.
Nice. All right.
That's
He's
what
hard. I think that'll be my Halloween costume this year. Ted Lasso.
Oh my god.
That's what I should do.
Yes.
He pulls off the best
Guy
costumes and he throws me off.
Just shoot a
What the one
mustache.
from South Park?
Oh,
That guy.
PC Principal.
Dude,
That was one of my best costumes.
the best costume. And he killed it.
That was a crazy night.
Don't remember it.
Mm.
I barely remember it tonight.
Outro music.
I tried. I'm done. It's too
It
late.
happens.
Good night, takers.
Pull it
Good
out.
night.
It's done. Stop.
It's in.
Go to sleep.
Couches pull out, but we don't.
Ah.